Welcome. Welcome to Montclair State's 2020 homecoming, virtual homecoming. My name is Jennifer Mattiello, Dr. Jen Mattiello. My students here call me Dr. Jen. I am an adjunct professor in the exercise science and physical education department here at Montclair State, and I teach yoga. So we are going to be together for the next 30 minutes doing some yoga. Everybody hear me okay? If I see your face, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So let's get started. We're going to come to our mats. And you're going to come into any comfortable seated position. Okay. Now, if sitting this way on the floor is not comfortable for you, you can sit on a chair. It doesn't have to be on the floor. Okay. If sitting this way, this bothers your hips, what you might want to do is grab a pillow or a blanket and you can put it under each knee. Or maybe even slide one underneath your sit bones. It lifts your hips a little bit better, a little higher than your knees. It'll make it a little bit more comfortable for you. Okay, so those are all just different options. If sitting for a couple of minutes this way is going to bother your hips. Okay, or feel free to sit on a chair. All right, so let's close our eyes. As you come to find your comfortable seat, close your eyes. Let your hands rest on your thighs, on your knees, either palms up or palms down, whatever's comfortable for your shoulders. Start to take your attention and turn your attention inward. Meaning, bring yourself and be present on your mat right here at this point. So ignore the sounds around you in your house. Ignore anything moving around you in your house and just be here. For this half hour, it's your time. And as you bring your attention inward, I want you to start to notice your body. What does your physical body feel like? And I don't want you to judge it or create a story about it. Like, oh, my shoulder is tight because of this. Just acknowledge it's there and then let it go. It's like you're doing a little inventory to start. Where am I today? How do I feel? Okay, got it. And then bring your attention to your thoughts and do the same thing. Just notice them. You don't have to do anything about them. Notice them, acknowledge they were there, and let them go. And then bring your attention to your breath. And just notice the breath moving into the body and moving out. And try to focus on where it's moving. Is it just moving into your upper chest here? Or is it coming all the way down into your belly? Start to move the breath all the way down to the bottom of the belly, like you're going to fill the belly up. And then fill the rib cage up, and then fill the chest up. And then as you exhale, let the breath go from the chest, from the ribs, and from the lower belly. And again, take another deep breath in. Fill the belly all the way down to the bottom. Think of filling a pitcher up, right? It fills at the bottom and comes up to the top. Fill the ribs, fill the chest. And as you exhale, let the breath go from the chest, from the ribs, and from the lower belly. And just take 2 or 3 more breaths, just like that. With each exhale, let your shoulders relax maybe a little bit further away from your ears. Maybe feeling with each exhale like you're releasing and letting go of some of the mourning, some of the tension you're holding. And then ask yourself, what do you need today? Do you need a little more focus? Do you need a little more compassion? Do you need a little more fun? Whatever that is, set that intention for your practice on your mat today. To cultivate more, whatever you need. compassion, fun. And then slowly flicker your eyes open. And with an inhale, let the arms start to float overhead. And with the exhale, let them float down. So allow them to feel light. Okay, inhale, float them up with the in-breath. Exhale, let them float down with the exhale. And once your fingertips touch the floor, start to walk them just that little bit further. On an inhale, lift up through your spine a little taller, and on an exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Now maybe that's enough of a stretch on your right side. You can stay here. If you want a little more, you can take your left hand to the right side of your head and gently, very gently, just pull your head over. With your next inhale, if you're holding your head, release your head. Otherwise, bring your head back center, and exhale, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Again, maybe that's enough of a stretch on the left side you don't want to add. If not, you can take your right hand to the left side of your head. And a little gentle pull. So you want to feel a little bit of a stretch. You might feel a little uncomfortable, but we don't ever want to work in that area of pain. If this is causing you any pain, numbness, or tingling, don't do it. Slowly release the right hand. On an inhale, reach the arms all the way overhead. Interlace the fingers. Exhale as you press your palms to the sky. Take a full deep breath in, and on an exhale, round only your upper back, pressing your palms away from you. Tuck your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath in, like you want to feel the space between your shoulder blades, and as you exhale, press the palms further away. And again, deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the left palm over towards the right. Start to open behind the left shoulder. Inhale, come back through the center. And exhale, press the right palm over towards the left, opening to the back of the right shoulder. Good. On an inhale, come on back center. Reaching your arms overhead, dropping the right hand to the floor, reach the left fingers up as far as you can, and then as you exhale, start to bend towards the right. Now this sit bone or butt bone wants to lift off the floor, push it down. As you press the sit bone towards the floor, you'll feel a little bit more of an opening over the top of that big hip bone. Take a full breath in, feel your ribs expand. On an exhale, reach your fingertips a little bit further. With your next deep breath, start to rotate your left shoulder towards the sky just a little bit. So you're taking that stretch a little bit towards the front of the left rib cage. And you might feel coming off of the hip bone a little bit more towards the front. Good. And the next exhale, drop your head and shoulder over your knee and keep your chin tucked. Take a deep breath in and exhale, let it out. Start to feel that opening over the back of this left hip now. Take one more full breath in and full breath out. On an inhale, start to walk yourself towards the center, and on an exhale, draw the belly button towards your spine and roll yourself up to seated. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, left hand drops to the floor, right arm reaches up and over. And again, our right sit bone is going to push to the floor as our right fingertips reach away. So you want to start to create length and create space on the right side. Now use the breath. Bring the breath into the rib cage on the right and start to feel your ribs start to open up from each other, stretching in between each of the ribs. With an inhale, open the shoulder towards the sky. And just that little bit of an opening just changes your stretch here. And with your next exhale, drop your head and shoulder over your knee and tuck your chin. Starting to open towards the back of the right hip. Inhale, walk yourself around towards the front. And now maybe while you're here, this is comfortable and you're going to stay here. Maybe swaying from side to side feels good on your back, then you can sway. If you've added movement, come back to stillness in center. Again, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw the belly button towards your spine and come all the way up. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead, and on an exhale, you're going to bring your arms to these cactus arms. So it's 90 degrees at your elbows, and your elbows are level with your shoulders. Now, take your shoulder blades, your scapula, and squeeze them back together. Make your upper back work. Pull them back. Now let them drop down a little bit. So you want to feel all around your scapula, all around those shoulder blades, like all the muscles are engaged. Pull the belly in, pull the front ribs in. Now start to roll one shoulder at a time back. Again, you shouldn't have any pain here. If you have pain, don't do it. But you might feel like it's lumpy and it's bumpy, okay? Or it sort of sounds kind of a little bit crunchy. Shouldn't be painful, but that's just sort of tissue we need to move and work over to smooth it out. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead, and on an exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. And then start to roll your shoulders back, opening right across your chest. Now think of your heart as lifting towards the sky. And then take a deep breath in and use the breath to open up across the chest. With your next exhale, relax your shoulders, just roll them back. Good. Taking your hands in front of you, roll right over onto your knees. Now you can swing your legs around. Some people tell me that I can't get my knees to do that. That's fine. Swing your legs around. So you're coming into what's called a tabletop. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knee is directly underneath your hip. We're going to start to come through some cat-cow positions. So on an inhale, let your belly drop. Let your chest fall through your arms and lift your heart and your head up as your tailbone comes up. And on this, we're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, breathe the breath out. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, pull your belly towards your spine and round your spine towards the sky. And that's a cat pose. On an inhale, let the belly drop, head turns up, tailbone turns up, chest comes through the arms into a cow. And on an exhale, round into a cat. Now take this a few times through this range of motion, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round, and don't go by my timing, go by the timing of your breath. This is where you want to link your breath up with your movement. Okay, so you might breathe slower than me or you might breathe faster than me. But what you want to do here is start to notice, are all the different areas of your spine moving, or when you try to do this, is a whole section coming up like a chunk of vertebra at one time? Or are you separating those vertebrae and really getting movement in between them? Let's take one more round, and after your next cat stretch, we're going to come back to a neutral spine. Taking your hips here, I want you to imagine doing a hula hoop, like a kid. Take your hips and just move them in a circle. Okay, with all this virtual learning and virtual work, and we're constantly sitting, and your hips are just stationary, get them moving, and now reverse the circle. Again, it's just like doing a hula hoop when you were 5. Good, come back center. Taking your hands now, keep them right under your shoulders. Take your shoulders, make circles around your hands. So let your shoulders go a little bit further than your fingers and then bring them back. Again, start to stretch into your wrists, stretch into the hands, stretch into your forearms. Again, yet another area that all of this sitting at our desks, working on our computers constantly, we end up getting tight wrists, forearms, and we don't even know it. And then reverse the circle. Again, real easy circle. And you're going to feel a pressure on different parts of your palm. Good. back center, just sit back onto your heels or up on your knees for a second. Interlace your fingers and make figure eights with your hands. Just loosen up your wrists. You had weight on them. And now go in the other direction. And it's not that easy. It's like you have to stop and get your brain to reverse gears. All right, take your hands back to the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, settle in. On an inhale, let's lift the left leg straight out behind you. Now squeeze your left cheek, your left glute. Now we're gonna take your left leg, cross it behind your right leg. Okay, you're gonna tuck your toe under and push back into your heel. Now look over your right shoulder and swing your hips to the left here. So you start to feel an opening on this outside of your hip. And breathe. So you can breathe any way you want. You can breathe in and out through your nose. You can breathe in and out through your mouth. What you want to make sure of is that you're just breathing. Just don't hold your breath. Inhale, come on back center with your head. Now slide your left leg all the way out to the left. I'm just going to switch directions here so you can see. Turn your toe out to the left. And now start to circle into your knee and into your hip. You're just getting some motion going in your hip and your knee, and then reverse it. Getting the joint fluid, moving around, lubricating those knees and hips. Good, let's take the left leg back underneath, and we're gonna do the same thing with the right. Extend the right leg straight out. Engage the right glute, the right butt cheek here. Cross your right leg behind your left leg. Tuck your toe under, and now push your weight back into it. So actually push into your hands, push your weight into it. Now swing your hips to the right and look over your left shoulder. Look for your toes. And breathe. Start to open the side body here. Good, on an inhale, bring your head back center, take your right leg out to the right, turning your right toe towards the right wall, and you're gonna circle into your knee and your hip. So you have about a 90-degree angle at that right knee. You're just gonna circle. And then reverse the circle. Good, bringing your right knee right back underneath you. Now take your toes together and bring your knees about as wide as your mat. Send your hips back to your heels and reach your arms out onto the floor. You're gonna rest your forehead to the floor. If it doesn't rest to the floor, you can put a pillow under it, that's fine. And if this bothers your knees, this is called child's pose, okay, or balasana. If that bothers you, you can stay up on your knees here and do the same thing. This is in puppy pose. Okay, so do what's comfortable to you. Just take a deep breath in and exhale. Now take the fingers and start to walk them forward just a little bit, maybe an inch, maybe not even. And now allow your hips to feel heavy. Anchor your fingertips to the floor and let your hips feel heavy like they're pulling back. So you want to start to feel an opening and a lengthening on both sides. Okay, basically from your wrists to your hips. And taking your hands, let's walk them over towards the left. Line up your left hand on a diagonal with your left knee, and then take your right hand and actively push down on top of your left hand. And then take your right hip and press your right hip to your right heel. Good. Start to walk your hands over towards the right side. Take your left hand, place it on top of your right, and press the left hand down. Press your left hip back to your left heel. Good. Inhale, come back center. Take one more full breath in. And then full breath out. From here, come back into your tabletop, and then we're gonna come straight up onto our knees here. Let's take the right foot, step your right foot forward. And you want a 90-90 position. So 90 degrees at your knee in the front and 90 degrees at your knee at the back. Okay, take your hands onto your thigh. Deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bend into your right knee, but don't let your knee go past your toe. Your knee is going to sort of be staying right over your right ankle. Now, tighten up your left glute, your left butt cheek. Turn it on. Now, imagine you could take this left knee and you could drag it forward. You'll feel a deepening in the stretch right here in your hip flexors. Okay? If you are sitting all day, your hip flexors are going to be tight. And from that sitting, they're probably going to be really weak. Okay, so really try to drag it forward, pull the belly in and up, and maybe reach your arms all the way up overhead. This time as you exhale, pull your arms down into those cactus arms we did when we were seated. Good, take a deep breath in. Pull the shoulders back. Nice, exhale, hands come to the floor. Let's bring that knee back and step the left foot forward. Again, 90 degrees at each knee. Take a deep breath in, exhale, we're gonna shift it forward. We're gonna take your right knee, drag it forward, turn on your right cheek. Get into the hip flexor here, pull the belly in and up, and maybe, if you feel okay taking your hands off your leg, take your hands behind you, roll your shoulders back, open up across your chest. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Take your knee back, sit it back again into your child's pose. This time with your knees together, so you can rest your chest and your belly on your thighs, reaching your arms out. From here, we're gonna come up onto your hands and knees and slowly lower yourself, thighs, hips, belly, and then chest onto the floor. Pressing the tops of your feet into the floor, hugging your elbows tight. Inhale, start to lift your chest a little bit off the floor, so stretching out the front of your body. And exhale, lower down. And again, inhale, press up, stretching out the front of your body into a cobra. Beautiful, exhale, come on down. But from here, just roll right onto your back. Coming onto your back, grab both knees, hug them in towards your chest. Keeping the right knee hugged into your chest, extend the left leg out. Extend the right leg up. And if it's bent, don't worry about it, okay? We're working it towards straight. That's the purpose of the pose, is to work towards straight. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And then just pull your knee towards your nose. And if it's here and you're pulling it, that's fine. Okay, listen to your body. Switching sides. Let's take the left knee, hug the left knee in. Let's work it towards straight. Pulling your knee towards your nose. Good, releasing your leg. Take one hand on each knee. You're just gonna make some circles with your knees. And then reverse it. Use your hands to make the circles. Now taking the feet to the floor. You're gonna walk the legs straight out. And you're gonna bring your arms at your sides, palms up. From here, take your shoulder blades and tuck them underneath you. Okay, so it's like you're squeezing them together. And then let your head come center, close your eyes. And you're finding your Shavasana here. And in Shavasana, the purpose of Shavasana is to let go. So let go of everything, let go of your body. Any tightness you have with it, let it go. Let go of your thoughts. If they come, that's fine, but let them go. And let go of trying to control your breath. It's going to happen anyway. Just let yourself breathe and just let yourself be and be present. Slowly come over onto your right side. And then use your hands to bring yourself back up to any comfortable seated position. And we'll end with our hands in prayer pose at our heart center, bowing our chin towards our heart. I thank you all for taking your time and participating in our virtual homecoming. Thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with the rest of us. I hope you have a lovely day. Namaste.